What up, football family? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show. I am your host, PL Culture. All right, it's week 11, ballers and ballettes. We got another round of bye weeks upon us. Several heavyweight teams and heavyweight players will be out of our lineups at a crucial point in our playoff push. If you're looking for some bye week replacements, pop your colon, sit back for the next 10 minutes, and holler at your boy. We got you hooked up. All right, so let's get started. We're going to take a trip down to the Georgia Dome, the hot ATL, and holler at Mr. Harry Douglas, wide receiver for the Falcons. Now, Douglas came in and had a career-best 8 catches and 133 yards, subbing in for an injured Julio Jones last week. Now, Jones has been having some hamstring issues, and he's been in and out of the lineup. Missed just about half of the month of October, and it's looking real sketchy to play this week against the Titans. Now, last week, the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, defensive scheme was to basically put all of their attention on Tony Gonzalez and Roddy White. Rightfully so. And I expect the Tennessee Titans, who have a middle-of-the-road passing defense, they rank 15th in the league, to employ a similar strategy. You want to definitely take away Roddy. You want to definitely, take care of Mr. All-Pro, first ballot Hall of Famer, Mr. Tony Gonzalez himself. And you also may need to keep that safety in the box for that big bruising running back that they have there. So it could be another recipe for success for Mr. Harry Douglas. I'm sure he'll see a lot of single coverage. And one other thing to look at, when Matt Ryan has time to throw, he's pretty effective, and the Titans have had issues all year getting to the quarterback. Now, moving on, we're going to stay inside the Georgia Dome and go across the sideline and holler at Mr. Damian Williams, wide receiver of the Tennessee Titans. Now, Williams, basically a second-round player out of USC, was picked last year to come in and be the complement to Kenny Britt. Now, we know that Kenny Britt is out this year with a torn ACL, and that's pretty much inserted Williams into the lineup. Now, for those who may say, who? Damian Williams, he did put up 5 catches for over 100 yards and a touchdown last week, and had 2 catches over 40 yards. Now, for those who may be screaming through the screen here, one week wonder, not so fast, my friends, in my Lee Corso voice. Now, if you take a closer look at Williams, he's actually scored 4 touchdowns in the last 6 weeks. So Matt Hasselbeck has been finding him in the red zone, and looks like that he's starting to become more comfortable in offense and is gaining the confidence of the starting quarterback. Also, the Tennessee Titans run game is finally starting to pick up some steam. The last 2 weeks that Chris Johnson is starting to look somewhat like his 2010 and prior years. He's starting to look like his old self. Racked up 130 yards on the ground last week, and the offensive line looked like the dominant Titans offensive line that we're used to seeing. How that can help Williams, now you have to bring that safety down in the box, and if you're the Atlanta Falcons, you're definitely looking at the tape of how Chris Johnson ran roughshod over the Panthers, and you're going to want to make sure that they don't get the ground game going. Everything hinges on the ground game, so that should help Damian Williams in single coverage to make some plays as well. Now, we're going to move out west and holler at Mr. Vincent Brown, rookie wide receiver. Oh, before I do, shouts out to my man D Peasy, a.k.a. Diddy DeVito, for showing love on the Damian Williams pick. In the interest of fairness, he hit me up right before game time last week and said, Williams is your man. Williams is your man. He was right. Got to show you love on that, bro. Good job by you. Now, moving out west, we're going to holler at Mr. Vincent Brown, rookie wide receiver for the Chargers. Now, Brown basically had a breakout game last week as well. 5 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. And also had another spectacular acrobatic touchdown callback on a replay challenge. So it looks like that he's getting it done as well. Now, word out of Chargers camp is that Phillip Rivers is gaining more and more confidence as he gets more and more reps. The reason why he's getting more and more reps, because Malcolm Floyd can't seem to get healthy this year, and he's had a pretty abysmal season so far. Also, Vincent Jackson, he's still the #1 stud. Don't let that fake attempt, I didn't see the ball, I'm not going to jump for the ball, whatever that was last week. Don't let that scare you off if you're a Jackson owner. He's going to be a solid stud for the remainder of the season. But getting back to Brown, with Malcolm Floyd having so many injury issues and Antonio Gates not looking like the Antonio Gates of old with his bad foot and looking just slow, man. It looked like the guy's running in a bowl of grits. It's just, he can't get it moving. But again, back to Brown. Brown, he's going to continue to see touches, and the Chicago Bears defense, they actually are 28th against the league against the pass. So 28 in the league against the pass. Phillip Rivers, this looks like a game that he can get back on track, which will definitely help Brown. So if you're short a wide receiver, get that brother in your lineup. I'm sure he's on your waiver wire. Now, if you are short a QB this week, if you're scared to play Michael Vick, or if you got some Big Ben on bye, or you're looking for somebody to replace Matt Schaub, with him being on bye and, of course, subsequently being out for the rest of the year, you may want to take a look at John Skelton, quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Skelton also had a breakout game last week, over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns against Philadelphia and their vaunted defense. I had to air quote that, man. They look ridiculously bad with all that free agent money they spent. Money can't buy you love, and it can't buy you a ring either, player. But I digress. All right, now, Skelton, there's one major reason why you may want to go with Skelton over some of the other waiver wire quarterbacks right now is because Larry Fitzgerald's getting off. And he's the face of the franchise. He's definitely the centerpiece of the offense. And Larry Fitzgerald last week had his best game in over a month. Almost 150 yards catching and 2 touchdowns. I'm sure he's getting into that offensive coordinator and that head coach's ear like, hey, Kevin Kolb is a bum, man. He ain't getting it done, man. You messing up my money. I just signed my contract, and now you're going to have my numbers dipped? I'm not having it. And he shouldn't have it. And if the Arizona Cardinals were smart, there would be a full-blown quarterback controversy going on right now because Cobb just hadn't been getting it done. So Skelton draws a matchup this week that on paper would scare people off, the San Francisco 49ers. We know they're tough. We know they've been on fire lately, and their defense is very physical. But if you look beyond the eye gate, you'll see that they're actually 24th against the pass. They can be had through the air. Of course, they can't run, but Arizona can't run against anybody, and I am not going to get started on Beanie Wells right now. I'm just going to leave it at Arizona can't run against anybody. So if you're in a points per completion league, then Skelton looks like a great stopgap this week. Now, Ken Whisenhunt didn't commit to whether Kevin Kolb will be playing this week, but come on now. Y'all know how that goes. Whenever the starter goes down and the backup comes in and plays well for a couple of weeks, it's always a day-to-day process. Just as Darren McFadden, that can't seem to get back on the field now that Michael Bush is running out of his mind. But I digress. So, if you have Skelton on your waiver wire, pick him up, put him in this week. Yes, the 49ers, but the only chance they have is to throw it all over the place. So, whether the 49ers win, whether the Cardinals win, you don't care. All you want is your fantasy football team to win. All right? Now, moving on to our Homer Alert pick this week. Now, it's week 11, so I shouldn't have to tell you what the Homer pick is. You know when you're a homer. You know it. You know when you put that player in the lineup just because you want him to do good. You can't play a player because you want him to do good, man. You got to play the matchups. And this week, if you are a fan of the Baltimore Ravens or Ray Rice has signed a pitcher or jersey for you, don't matter. Get that brother out of your lineup this week. Now, if you're having some injury issues or some bye week issues, of course you can't. But if you can, get that brother out of your lineup. He has a terrible matchup this week. Before we get into the matchup, though, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens for a second. Who are you, Baltimore? Who are you? Do you want to run? Do you want to pass? You want to beat the best teams in the AFC and lose to the worst teams in the AFC? Who are you? Who are you? Why is Ray Rice only getting 8 carries? Can you answer me that, Mr. Harbaugh? All right. Now, if that's not enough to scare you away, if they do decide to give him plenty of touches this week, it probably will go for close to nothing because the Cincinnati Bengals bring in the second-ranked rush defense in the league, and they're giving up less than 90 yards a game on the ground. So look for Rice to be another non-factor this week, and hopefully that wouldn't be anything that sets you behind in your playoff push. That concludes the Fantasy Football Show for Week 11. As always, we always like to tell you that life is a sport, so play to win. I am your boy PL. If you have some guys that you want to shout out to start or possibly sit, leave us a comment right here and share your knowledge, share the love with the football family and the football nation. Also, you can also drop me a line on Twitter. That's at PL Culture. Again, that's at PLCOLTER. I'm out. Good luck and God bless.